Hello again, fellow BeachBum traders. Thank you for joining us for part 2 of our weekly trading game plan for the trading week of April 22nd through April 26th. We're in part 2 of our weekly trading game plan. We'll be selecting our top swing trading stocks to watch, stocks in our bullpen, stocks in our shopping list. We'll also talk about dividend payers and how we can use those to generate income while we wait for while the bears are back in the stock market, as we talked about yesterday. We can generate income with dividend payers. We're also going to talk about option strategies we can use to make money trading while the bears are back in the stock market. So let's get started. Here's our Google document with our notes for part 2 of our weekly trading game plan for April 22nd through April 26th. We keep our notes in publicly accessible Google documents. You can find a direct link to this Google document in the description box below. Our weekly trading game plan notes documents contain links to bonus videos, the tools and resources we use to trade our top swing trading stocks to watch, etc. If you haven't already seen part 1 of our weekly trading game plan for this week, titled Bears Are Back in the Stock Market, we would highly recommend you also view part 1, as this contains our market analysis, our trading strategies, trading ideas on how to make money trading while the bears are back in the stock market. Just a reminder, we keep our Google documents with our weekly trading game plan notes in a publicly accessible Google Drive folder, so you can refer back to the notes for part 1 as well as previous weekly trading game plans, and you can find a direct link to that Google Drive folder also in the description box below. Welcome, Logan Flips, the Crow. Thank you for joining us in the chat today. Hope you all are doing well. So firstly, we'll quickly go over some of our trades for this week, and then we'll also look at those in Webull. So firstly, as we discussed last week, we've been watching HIMX Technologies, Taiwanese semiconductor stock, and we were mentioning probably going long on Monday, and so we actually did go long on Monday at 521. You can hear our thesis on HIMX Technologies, HIMX, both in last week's weekly trading game plan and also via the bonus link to this previous due diligence on HIMX Technologies via the link in the notes. As we'll see when we look at the charts, obviously the decline of the semiconductor sector put downward pressure on HIMX. We'll also look at some positive news that came out. So we'll talk about this in a little more detail when we get to our watch list as well. As I discussed earlier, we're also going to look at some option strategies to generate income while we wait for, while the bears are back in the stock market. We can use some other strategies to also generate income in addition to swing trading, scalping, and one of those strategies is selling puts. And again, we'll look at some additional opportunities to sell puts, but one of the opportunities we took this week was with the decline in Tesla. We sold a Tesla May 17th 150 strike price put at 940, and I want to briefly go over to Webull right now, and we'll look at this particular trade, and I want to show you how you can see the charts and the prices in the new options trading feature in Webull. So I'm going to jump over to Webull. I'll look at my trades. Let's select Tesla. So again, we can see here's the decline in Tesla. It's now below 150, but again, I sold my put at 150 with a 940 price, so I wouldn't expect to get assigned till it drops till about 141. Then we can go to the options trading tab. You can see now this is the online browser version of Webull. This is a relatively new feature, this options trading screen. So now we've got the basic chart of Webull. You can see I can select the expiration date. So if I go to May 17th, now I can see the calls and puts for Tesla. If I select, here's the put side. You can see right now it's selling at 11.45. Again, Tesla has declined further, so you can actually sell this put for higher than I did. But if I select sell on that put, we can also then see in the options chart, we can now chart options in this options trading um, screen on Webull, which is very nice. Previously, I had to go over to the desktop version of Webull to be able to chart the options. So now you can see you can chart the options. You can add your indicators. So if we want to add pivot points and VWAP, volume weighted average price, to that options chart, we can also do that. So again, you can see with the further decline in price in Tesla, the price of that option's actually gone up a little bit. Right now, selling for 11.45. So I believe Tesla has earnings on Tuesday, I believe. We can look at that real quickly as well. I go to the stock chart. I've got Tesla already selected. See corporate actions. Let's see when they're, I guess somewhere I can see their next earnings date, but I believe it's Tuesday. Okay, so again, I hope that helps. Again, this options trading, new options trading feature in Webull looks very useful. So now we can chart options also in the options trading feature in Webull. So again, if you're interested in selling puts on Tesla, it looks like, again, you could get an even better premium than I got. But again, we'll hold that for a month. If I do get assigned at 141 or so, then I'll own some Tesla, and then I can turn around and use our wheel strategy, sell covered calls against Tesla to generate additional income. Welcome Ellen Krantz, Gerald Fitz, Sydney Osborne. Thank you all for joining us. Thank you for the positive feedback, Gerald. Yeah, I think that's going to be very useful. Again, I used to have to use the Webull desktop version to chart options, and now I figured out the way I can chart options in the online platform of Webull. So the last trade update I want to cover today is we also went long on TSLY. TSLY is the yield max monthly dividend payer on Tesla. So we went long on the 19th at 13.25. Again, we'll collect a monthly dividend, waiting for Tesla to swing back up. Again, with all of these yield maxes, we'll collect a monthly dividend, but I'm not looking at them for a very long-term hold. It's definitely a swing or scalp trade. So assuming Tesla eventually swings back up, we'll take our profits in TSLY, and in the meantime, we'll collect a pretty juicy monthly dividend, and we'll be able to see those dividend payments in the in our dividend payers Google Sheet. So you can hear our previous discussions on TSLY, why we like TSLY, via the game plans from last week, and also via the bonus link for our video on TSLY in the notes. We'll jump over in a second to both our watch list Google. Well, we'll jump over to Webull and look at those other trades in a second. Just a quick reminder, although I never recommend you blindly follow us or anyone else into or out of trades, if it would help you make money trading, help you succeed in your trading career, to get real-time alerts when we enter or exit a trade, you can get email notification of our entry and exits by joining our Patreon. We also have a couple channels available in our Discord to our Patreon members, where we have a variety of alerts. So the first of which is a Thinkorswim alerts channel. So I also have price alerts set up in Thinkorswim. When those get triggered, they get automatically posted to the Thinkorswim alerts channel. And then if I follow that up with a trade, as I did with HIMX, then I'll reply to that in the Thinkorswim channel in our Discord. If it's a trade not directly related to a Thinkorswim trade alert, as when we sold the cash secured put on Tesla, or when we went long on TSLY, then I would post those in the Trade Alerts channel. We also have a channel of real-time automatically generated alerts in our Discord, so you can also see when stocks are moving, breaking out near our price targets. And again, these are all automatically generated by our automated system. If you would like to learn more about how this all works, we have a link to our bonus video discussing how this works in the notes. And again, a great way to see trends, sector rotations in the markets, opportunities when things are moving up, breaking out. So we see when silver was breaking out, we saw yin and yang when those are moving up, down. Saw retail is moving up, etc. So again, if that would help you in your trading, again, I think the real-time alerts is great for short-term traders, day traders, scalpers, etc. And you can get access to all of that by joining our Patreon at the All Access or VIP level. And you can find the links also to our Patreon in the description box below. Okay, let me grab a quick drink and we'll look at those other trades in Webull. Just a quick reminder, if you're not already using Webull, you can still get your 75 free fractional shares of stock by opening and funding an account with $25K. If you fund it with less than $25K, you get 20 free fractional shares of stock. They also still have a special for futures trading, and you can find the details on their new futures trading in the Webull channel in our Discord, with the exception of those few channels under the Patreon section. All of the other channels in our Discord are free to join. And again, you can find more information about futures trading and their special offer right now in the channel on Webull. Also, they're offering a 4.5% up to 4.5% match on contributions in a IRA account. You can find the details of that also in our Webull channel in our Discord. And if you'd please use our affiliate link in the description box below or in our Discord, we would greatly appreciate it. You'll get your free fractional shares of stock, all of the other free rewards they're currently offering, and you'll also help support our BeachBum trading channel, which our community, which we greatly appreciate. So we'll look at our HIMX trade just very briefly. I'll zoom that in a little bit. So again, we went long on the 15th at about 520. So when it was broke down or near that support level, see it decline further. Again, semiconductors, a lot of downward pressure, NVIDIA, SMCI, etc. So downward pressure on semiconductors has pushed HIMX down further. Again, I'll look at some news in a few minutes that I think is a positive for HIMX. But again, they're going to get downward pressure from the decline in semiconductors. So if you're not already long HIMX, again, we'll talk about some additional reasons you might want to consider it. We looked at Tesla, so decline in Tesla. Again, now it's below 150. We sold our put at 150. Did bounce briefly back up over 150, so it seems to be stabilizing a little bit. Again, I think they have earnings on Tuesday or early this week. I don't know if this will show me their next earnings date, 4/23. So yeah, Tuesday's earnings. So we might get additional volatility. Again, something you might want to consider if you want to sell puts against Tesla or buy shares, etc. It's again earnings date coming up. So additionally, we also bought TSLY. We bought TSLY on the 19th at 13.25. Again, we're holding that. It held up a little bit better than Tesla, as you can see. So again, when Tesla hit that 150 or 52-week low on Tesla, we bought TSLY. Again, we'll hold that and collect the monthly dividends, and we can wait for Tesla to eventually swing back up. Okay, let me grab another really quick drink and we'll go through our top swing trading stocks to watch. I'll go through the updates to our watch list, and we'll also look at them in our Google Sheet. So just a quick note before we start in that is we now have a watch list Google Sheet. It contains our top swing trading stocks to watch, our bullpen stocks, our shopping list stocks, etc. And you can get 24/7 access to our watch list Google Sheet as well. Gets automatically updated at the end of each day with any changes to our watch list. And again, you can get 24/7 access to that by joining our Patreon. You can hear how to use our Google Sheet to watch our top swing trading stocks to watch via the series of bonus videos in the notes here. And again, this gets updated with any changes at the end of each day. And then if I make any subsequent changes after that is generated, and we also have a watch list channel in our Discord available to our Patreons. And I would post any further updates in that watch list channel if it's after that Google Sheet's generated. So we'll talk about the updates, and then we'll look at them in our Google Sheet, and then also the charts in Webull. Okay, firstly, I've left GDXD, which is the short on gold miners. Left that in our watch list, even though we're already long GDXD. We're a little premature, and gold has pushed up over 2,400. So if and when gold rolls over, if you'd like to short gold using GDXD or some of the others, DUST, DZZ, you can hear our previous discussions on the best ETFs to use to short gold via the link to that video in our notes. So again, we're already long GDXD. We'll wait for that correction, take profits in GDXD. Again, a great one, again, for short-term trading, GDXD short, GDXU long. Talked about HIMX. I also want to point out this news article that unfortunately it came out on the 19th, which was Friday. Well, the sentiment of AI was very negative with NVIDIA nosediving, SMCI. So I guess they had an unfortunate time when they released this article, but I thought this was quite interesting. So I just want to quickly look at this article with HIMX. So it's titled HIMX joins forces with E-Ink to revolutionize smart retail with their WiseEye AI. So you can read through this whole article via the link in our notes. But what I thought was very interesting is that this is kind of an edge AI chip that they're using, very low power, ultra low power battery operated small retail solution using HIMX's leading edge ultra low power AI sensing technology. So again, I think that's very positive news, AI related. Unfortunately, again, it came out on Friday when I think the sentiment was very negative towards AI, so they didn't get the pop that you'd often get with positive AI news, and I think the algorithms were only looking for negative AI news at this time and trying to drive some of the AI stocks, NVIDIA, etc., down. But again, you can read this in more detail. I think this is very interesting, very positive. I think edge semiconductors to be able to utilize AI has a lot of future potential, and maybe again someday if I have more time to talk about what my opinions on the future of AI is, maybe we can discuss that in more detail. But I wanted to share that article with you. Again, if you're not already long HIMX, something to consider. Again, you can hear our other discussions on HIMX via the link to that bonus video. So we're taking it off our watch list as we're already long HIMX, but I just wanted to also share that as something additional you might want to consider if you're interested in HIMX Technologies HIMX. Welcome, Carmen, Balu Dog, Easy Mike. Glad to see you all in the chat today. So again, we still got Pfizer in our watch list. You can hear our previous discussions on what we're looking for, why we like Pfizer, via the link to that bonus video in the notes. Again, we're taking TSLY out of our watch list. If you're not already long TSLY, something you might want to consider. And again, you can listen to our discussions on TSLY via the link to the bonus video in the notes. We also added ZSL. So ZSL is the short, ultra short, leverage short, 2x short on silver. I added this on the 15th. I posted this in our Discord on the 15th. When I added it, I probably should have thought about this when we got stopped out of our SLBO position. We saw silver spiked up to near 30, then rolled over, stopped us out of our SLBO position. And again, if I'd been thinking more clearly, I should have known that I should have shorted silver at that point in time. So again, something I also wanted to share as kind of a lessons learned is, think about these situations and when you're going to get stopped out, when it rolls over going one direction, maybe you want a long and inverse and take advantage of the momentum in the other direction. So again, if silver spikes back up to near 30, its 52-week high currently is about 29.90. So if it does spike back up, we saw it got a pretty dramatic rejection from that 30 point, and we would look to add a short position, at least for a short-term swing scalp using ZSL. Again, you can hear our discussions on various ETFs to trade gold and silver via the link to the video in our notes and also on our BeachBum trading channel. So again, you can find all of these watch list stocks in addition to our price targets, their 52-week data, optionality, dividends, earnings dates, etc., all in the watch list tab of our watch list Google sheet. And again, you can get access to that Google sheet by joining our Patreon. So if we quickly look at the charts of those in Webull, so I can jump over to my watch list, my top swing trading stocks to watch list in Webull. Here's GDXD. Again, you want to watch the actual, again, this is gold miners, and it doesn't necessarily trade directly with the gold price. So again, GDXU is the long, GDXD is the short. So if we can zoom that out a little bit. So we see it hit a low at 224, bounced up. I think we're in at 350 or so. So we need a larger correction to get that profitable. Pfizer got a bounce. So it did make a new 52-week low, and then it bounced. See that's support level. So we'll see if it gets rejected off that support level. See if this 52-week low holds. If not, the next price target down on Pfizer is 24.20. So again, it got a nice bounce on Friday. We'll see if that 52-week hold holds, or if it descends back to the previous support level at 24.20. Again, ZSL is short on silver. So it's been declining. Again, it's a leveraged inverse ETF, so it's going to decay over time. So we need to be able to catch that quickly. We see that quick bounce when silver spiked up and then quickly retraced. Okay, next we'll talk about our bullpen stocks. If you're new to our community, the concept of the bullpen stocks are ones that don't quite have the swing trading setup that we would like yet, but we've identified that they may in the near future, so we put them in the bullpen, periodically revisit them. Now, if the setup improves, so we put them in the game, move them to our top swing trading stocks to watch list, and then go from there. Let me grab a quick drink and we'll talk about our bullpen stocks. Okay, the first one we've had in our bullpen for a while is this Cross Timbers Royalty Trust. It's a monthly dividend payer on oil properties, oil and gas properties. You can hear our previous due diligence on CRT via the bonus link to that video in the notes. The second one in our bullpen that we added back in is one we used to trade sector rotations out of steel. So it's this MSB Trust. So you can hear our previous discussions on MSB, MSB Trust, via the link to that video in the notes. Again, I never caught this, and it bounces pretty quickly. But when we saw the sector rotation back out of steel again, I wanted to take a look at MSB, see if we might be able to take an opportunity on that sector rotation in steel using MSB. Also, just a quick note, they announced a 29-cent dividend. It's kind of a special dividend for holders as of with the next dividend of April 30th. So if you're interested in MSB, you might want to consider getting in before the ex-dividend of 430 if you'd like to collect that 29-cent kind of special dividend. So if we look at those, we can look at them in our bullpen sheet, in our Google sheet. So again, you can find price targets for our bullpen stocks. We can now in more real time watch them in our Google sheet. So you can see CRT, MSB, you can see the dividend payment information, yield, etc. If we look at them in Webull, so again, CRT we've been watching for a while. We were looking to see if it would retest that 1250, and then you can see on Friday it jumped up with the price of oil jumping up, etc. I believe they also had some positive news, and it jumped up. So again, we'll wait to see if it comes back down. If it continues to run up, then we'll take it out of our bullpen. Here's MSB, again, MSB Trust. It also popped up on Friday, so we were kind of waiting for the 1668-ish area. And again, it tends to pop quite quickly. It's kind of a low float. I've never been able to catch it before it pops. Maybe I need to be more aggressive in jumping on that when it hits these support levels. You can see as soon as it hit that support level, it bounced pretty dramatically. So again, We'll see if it continues to run up or if we get a retest down, get another chance to get into MSB. Welcome, Gabe Fade. Good to see you in the chat today. Hope you're doing well. Okay, I don't have any honorable mention stocks. Talk about shopping list stocks. Again, as you saw, that decline in the market this week is definitely the time to have your shopping list ready. Again, one of the ones we took advantage of was the decline in Tesla. So I was able to watch that as part of our shopping list. And again, we saw yesterday a decline may continue. We might get some dramatic corrections to the upside. But if we get an opportunity, we're also getting in the heart of earnings season. So you might get some irrational reactions to earnings like on Netflix. And have your price targets ready where you want to buy these stocks that you always wanted to own. Again, we just recommend staying away from zombie stocks. Again, none of our content should be considered financial advice. We're not financial advisors. All of our content is for education and hopefully some entertainment purposes only. But again, we always recommend staying away from zombie stocks, zombie companies, zombie ETFs in this high interest rate, higher for longer environment. So now you can also see our shopping list stocks in the shop list tab in our watch list Google sheet. So you can see some we already own like APLY, see others we typically watch like Disney, IBM, a couple dividend payers, JETP and JETQ, land, we're still on land, a couple other REITs, LTC, O and Stag, Pfizer, again, it's on our watch list. When that turned green in our shopping list is when we considered adding it to our watch list. Again, Tesla and TSLY. We've got USOI on oil, URNM on uranium, etc. So got Amazon. I have Netflix in there, so we can see that severe decline in Netflix. So it's still quite a bit above its 52-week low, but as again, we can watch for irrational reactions that we want to take advantage of in our shopping list tab. Okay, next I'm going to jump over to dividend payers. We've got some new ones to talk about. Let me grab a drink and we'll talk about our dividend payers. So if anyone in the chat has particular dividend payers you want to take a look at, please throw those symbols back in the chat. We can take a look at those. Welcome, Walter Lyon. Sorry if I missed you earlier. Just a quick reminder, you can also get access to our dividend payers Google Sheet, 24/7 access to our dividend payers Google Sheet by joining our Patreon. So again, that's how we identify potential opportunities for generating income using various dividend payers. You can use it to find dividend payers in whatever categories, whatever risk reward profile, whatever yield that you would like using our dividend payers Google Sheet. So what I wanted to specifically look at first is Easy Mike had mentioned this FEPI in the live chat of last week's part 2. So I want to look at FEPI first. So if I go to the ad sheet of our dividend payers Google Sheet, which is where we do research on new dividend payers to consider, do a find on FEPI. zoom that out a little bit. So this is the REX FANG and Innovation Equity Premium Income ETF. See, it pays a nominal dividend of 119. So it's got a yield of about 11%. We see its performance. It's a little negative for the year. We'll look at the chart in a second in FinBiz. See, right now it's priced at 51. It's got support about 54. 52-week low at about 48. So it's got, some risk. You can see the risk reward profile. So it broke down below support, so I'll have to adjust that. So let me adjust the support down to the 52-week low. That'll adjust the risk reward profile accordingly. So now we've got $3 risk, 5 reward or so. You see it's a risk reward profile of only about 1.18 from a 52-week standpoint. Looks like it doesn't have a lot of history. So we'll look at it in FinViz. So yeah, it's relatively new. So we see it, ran up with the Magnificent Seven, the FANGs, hit this multiple top, rolled over. Then we see this severe drop now with the fall from grace of the Magnificent Seven, the FANG stocks. Again, we see it pays, 119. It's like a monthly dividend. So again, about 11% yield. It is optionable. So again, hasn't been around, a long time. See its composition. So it's 45% technology, 37 electronics, little retail, little consumer. Highest holdings: Palo Alto, Alphabet, Meta, Adobe, Apple, Netflix, Microsoft, NVIDIA. So not as heavily weighted for like NVIDIA. Capital appreciation and income. Selective FANG Innovation Index. So again, it's heavy on the FANG stocks, although again, see right now it's most heavily weighted is Palo Alto Networks, which is not generally considered a FANG stock. Salesforce got a pretty significant weight, again, not generally considered a FANG stock. But again, when the FANG stocks are, in vogue, it seems like it's got a pretty nice price appreciation. When they're out of vogue, significant risk to the downside. Again, my humble opinion, I think the relentless buy the dippers in the Mag 7 and the FANG stocks will, cause some pretty violent corrections to the upside. But again, I think they've got a lot more profit taking to occur out of them. So if you get that correction, you might want to take your profit. Again, I'm not sure about this. We'll keep an eye on it in terms of a dividend payer, but it does look like it's pretty volatile in terms of a dividend payer. And again, we don't have a whole lot of history to go by. So you can see right now the net yield is pretty, it's not bad, 10%. Adjusted yield 11%, beats 5% that you can get in money market. So again, if this FEPI is something that you find attractive, if you can, scalp it, take advantage of those dramatic moves to the upside, take some profit, collect your dividend in the meantime, probably not a bad one to consider. So thank you again, Easy Mike, for sharing that with us. And we hope that all helps. Okay, if I just very quickly spin through some other dividend payers in our main sheet. Again, if I missed someone in the chats, ticker symbol, I'd appreciate it if you throw it back up there. I apologize if I missed it. And APLY, we're still long APLY. Again, Apple's been in decline, but we've collected a couple months of dividends. You can see it pays, 38 cents, 40 cents a month. So we're just sitting there collecting that dividend, waiting for a swing back up in Apple. Again, not terribly concerned about that. We'll just keep collecting that dividend. TSLY we talked about, so I'll go look at TSLY. So here's TSLY. So it last paid 68 cents on the 4th. Again, with all of these yield maxes, you can find the dividend schedule for dividend distribution in the references sheet in our dividend payers Google sheet. So we can see the next ex-dividend on all the yield maxes like APLY, TSLY, etc. Next ex-dividend is May 6th. So again, that applies to all the yield max dividend paying ETFs. So again, you can see the yield has been very positive on Tesla. Again, it's only been recent that it went that steep decline. So again, we'll collect the dividends on TSLY while we wait for Tesla to eventually recover. AMDY, Balu Dog is asking about AMDY. I assume that's the yield max on AMD. We'll see if we have that in our sheet. Some of them I have in the ad sheet. We don't currently have AMDY. So I will add that to our ad sheet and we can look at that in more detail probably next time. But again, you can see how you can use the ad sheet, the research in our ad sheet. You just plug a symbol in and then I can fill in the additional information to get the adjusted yield, the net yield, etc., which I collect off of the FinBiz sheet. So if we do that real quickly for this AMDY. So yeah, it's the yield max on AMD. Dividend yield. So it paid 111. It's got a yield, pretty high yield, 43%. So there's the percentage. Monthly. The other thing I want is the performance, the yearly performance. So we don't have a whole year's worth of performance. So I'll take the performance year to date. So we only have less than a year of performance again. So I can take the 52-week data for the support and resistance. And the top and bottom. So now you can see the risk reward profile. So very low risk, pretty good to reward, pretty good yield, 13%, plenty of upward, price appreciation potential. But again, it was, severely put down with the fall from grace of the semiconductors. So again, that might be, whenever that does bottom and bounce back up, this might be a very attractive yield max to collect, pretty nice dividend on AMD. So thank you for sharing that, Balu Dog. And we'll definitely consider that to trade AMD. Again, we just need to see where does AMD bottom. So again, I would be watching for a bottom in AMD to determine an entry point. And you can see it's got some room to fall before it reaches that longer term moving average. So wherever that bottoms and bounces, I would use that as the entry point to look at AMDY. So again, thank you for sharing that. That looks pretty attractive, something we want to definitely keep an eye on. Easy Mike. Let's talk about QQQY. QQQY says it appreciates as the Qs are going down. Well, yeah, some of these, like TSLY, we saw actually held up better than Tesla. So again, I think people are buying relative to collecting those dividends. So again, that may give it more support than the underlying stock. So a couple other just very quickly. GNL loses money. There's the dividend information on HIMX. So you can see its previous annual. It does an annual dividend. Talked about Hershey, IEF, IEW. Again, if you're looking for stable dividends, that might be something to consider. Land, we're still long land. LEG loses money. Medical device. ARC is the dividend payer yield max on ARC-K, but if we look at ARC-K, we looked at ARC-K yesterday. Looks like it may have farther to fall. So again, I would be looking for a bottom in ARC-K to then consider OARC as the yield max on ARC-K. We talked about Pfizer. Another one I've been keeping an eye on is Siri. I don't know if you've heard, there's kind of a arbitrage position with Siri and Liberty. There's a Liberty Capital, I think it is. And Warren Buffett is using a kind of an arbitrage thing, buying up shares. They're going to merge the Siri segment of Liberty, I think it's Liberty Capital, with the stock of Siri. But it's been in pretty steady decline. So I have been keeping an eye on that, given that arbitrage and the fact that Warren Buffett's been buying some up. But if we look at it in FinBiz, it's been in pretty steep decline. Again, you see it's just been steadily declining. So, and it's I don't it's got a ways. If it loses a support around 287, then it's got significantly further to fall. So I've been keeping an eye on that one. It's got an interesting story. So we might take a look at that in the future if it does get some support. And you can see I set the support in our Google Sheet to that 287 level. So I'm keeping an eye on that. TLT and TLTW. Again, we talked bond yields retesting 5. So I think TLT might at some point drop further. BFC loses money. So I'll leave this up for a few minutes as we talk about options. If I missed anybody's ticker, again, I'm trying to keep an eye on the chat, but not always easy to do. So if I missed yours, please let me know again, and I'll try to go back to it. So let me grab a drink and let's talk about option strategies. So we've got a couple option strategies we also use to generate income in addition to our swing trading. When buying dividend payers, we can use a variety of option strategies to generate income. One is selling covered calls against our positions when they're going up, buy them back when they're going down. We sell puts, cash secured in general, in our case. Sell puts when stocks are going down, buy them back when they're going up. Example of which is when we sold that put on Tesla for a nice premium, and we'll buy it back if Tesla rebounds and the premium on that stock goes below what we paid for it, or if it expires worthless, then we get to just keep that premium. You can see our criteria for selling puts. So again, we only sell puts on something that, we're willing to get assigned, willing to hold, and then we would utilize the wheel strategy, selling covered calls against a position that we got assigned on. So again, we're not selling puts on something that we're not willing to get assigned. So we also have our puts ROIC Google sheet, again with the steep decline in the markets we saw this week. And they pop up in the VIX. Some of these puts opportunities may be more attractive than they have been for quite some time. So we'll take a look at that. We use our puts ROIC Google sheet to identify and watch for those opportunities. And you can also get access to that puts ROIC Google sheet by joining our Patreon at the All Access or VIP level. Just a couple quick additions I added to our research tab is Avis Budget Group, CAR at the 95 strike for May, and Whirlpool at the 95 strike for May. Again, these popped up. I use this options ROIC or options seller ROI tool at the end of each day. Look for potential additions to our puts ROIC Google sheet, and those were two that popped up and looked potentially attractive. We'll take a quick look at those in a second. So here's our main watch list sheet of puts. So you can see Tesla, when Tesla turned green. You see right now, ROIC on Tesla, it's even higher than, where we bought it. We bought it at 940 or sold it at 940. It hit a high of 1180, so it's 7%. So when we bought it at 940, so it's about over 5%, 5.3. So once something goes over 5%, that becomes attractive to us. We'll at least consider. So again, right now, that's the only one in our main watch list that's got an ROIC of over 5. Look in our research tab, quickly scroll through, see if there's any others over 5%. So this SEDG is actually below our strike price. That's a solar. Don't like that, but I may need to. I probably should lower the strike price on that, see how it comes out. But that's the only one right now over 5%. Again, as the VIX, if we get further pops in the VIX, some of those might go over 5% and become attractive. You can see here's CAR Avis Group. So it's kind of close. So if it were to go to its 52-week high on that premium, it would have a 8% ROIC. So again, that's one of the reasons we looked at that one. And if we look at the chart for Avis Group, so I've got it at 95. It's right now at about 100. So if I were to sell that put and it were to hold at 100, I would expect it to, expire worthless. I just collect that premium. So it's something to consider. Again, some downside risk. It's been down quite a bit lower. Again, rental cars kind of out of favor right now. The other one I added was Whirlpool, WHR. So we see its ROIC right now is not all that attractive, 1.7. If it went to its 52-week high, it would only be 2%. So again, right now for the May expiration, not all that exciting. And again, appliances, new home sales, pretty poor. So again, I set that at 95, looks pretty stable at 100. So 98. So the last kind of tweezer bottom was at 98. So again, that might be one to consider selling, not a whole lot of downside risk. So, if you did get a sign at 95, not terrible, got decent, upside. So again, either of those might be something to consider, but the Avis One car would have a higher ROIC. Again, it just the premium just needs to come up some to get over that 5% for that to become really attractive. So if anyone else has any other puts you want to look at, or also if you'd like us to do research, add a put to our puts ROIC Google Sheet to our automated systems. Our automated systems collect this data and it updates this puts ROIC Google Sheet at the end of each day. So again, if you'd like us to research any puts, please let us know the ticker, expiration date, strike price, etc., and we can plug that into our systems and collect that data for you. Okay, I've just got a couple minutes. If I missed your ticker that you want to look at, please throw it back up in the chat. Again, apologize or any other questions, comments we want to discuss today, please let me know, but let me grab a quick drink. Okay, I'm just trying to check the chat a little bit. In the meantime, I hope that you like this content. We'd greatly appreciate it if you would smash the like button, help the YouTube algorithm, maybe eventually show us some love and share our content with other BeachBum traders around the world. We would greatly appreciate your support and directly sharing our content with your fellow traders around the world. Let's continue to build our BeachBum trading community for the mutual benefit of all of our fellow BeachBum traders. And also, we'd love your feedback via the comments to this video or in our Discord. Again, our Discord's free to join. All the channels are accessible with the exception of a few under the Patreon section that are available to our Patreon members. And you can tag us in our Discord. Discord's BeachBum Trading, all lowercase, no other characters, symbols, numbers. Anyone else is an imposter. You can also contact us via any of our social media sites. You can find the links to all of our social media sites, including a free invite to our Discord in the links section of our homepage, beachbumtrading.com, bum without the U. So again, we'd love your feedback on, what improvements we can make to our weekly trading game plans, our videos, any of our tools, our Google Sheets, our resources, etc., our automated systems. What can we do to add more value for all of our BeachBum traders? So again, we need your feedback, and we need and appreciate your help to continue to grow and improve our BeachBum trading community. And we appreciate everyone that's participating in the chat today and everyone that's watching this video. We hope this all helps. Again, we hope you like this content. Please let us know. We hope you're subscribed to our BeachBum Trading YouTube channel. And we look forward to seeing you in our Discord. Again, we can continue these discussions 24/7 in our Discord. So we hope to see you there. So thank you again for watching, and we hope to see you again back next week for our weekly trading game plan for the following week. So good luck, BeachBum traders, and have a great trading week.